Queen Elizabeth lives an insanely lavish life. At the age of 96, the death of Queen Elizabeth II last September 8, 2022, shocked the world. The monarch queen is considered to have the longest reign, which is for 70 years, and without a doubt she had been one of the world's wealthiest and most influential ladies, with a reputedly worth of $530 million. That said, it's not surprising that she had lived a lavish lifestyle, which this video will be all about. Join us at Money Buys Happiness as we cover the lavish lifestyle of then Queen Elizabeth II. From horses to the travels that she had made, you will learn about them here, so stay tuned. First things first, one of Queen Elizabeth's most desirable assets was her vast collection of magnificent gems. Tiaras are especially enticing since they are connected with royalty. To be sure, the Queen had a plethora of tiaras, but one in particular had an astonishing quantity of precious stones. Queen Elizabeth's Burmese ruby tiara had 96 rubies, according to Harper's Bazaar. Myanmar offered them to the royal couple as a wedding present after Queen Elizabeth married Prince Philip. Even though it was in the 1940s, she didn't get them fitted into a tiara until the 1970s. If you think that's remarkable, wait until we tell you that she's also worn a crown encrusted with almost 2,000 diamonds and other stones. Since the 1930s, the imperial state crown has been worn at coronations, including the Queen's own. Those jewels, according to a royal dresser, gleam because they are cleaned with gin. Buckingham Palace in London served as Queen Elizabeth's official residence. The massive palace includes 775 rooms in all, 78 of which are toilets. You may even take a tour of some of the palace's rooms. The staterooms, of which are 19, are the major attraction of the palace's summer excursions. These are the chambers where the Queen entertained visitors. There's also the grand stairway, a massive bronze staircase with intricate carvings. The castle is packed with priceless artwork, beautiful ceramics, and timepieces. In fact, there are so many analog clocks that 2 full-time employees wind and maintain them. Buckingham Palace also has broad, verdant gardens in addition to these amenities. According to Visit London, there's even a 3-acre lake on the site. Naturally, Queen Elizabeth's garden parties would be held on the grounds outside the palace, according to Hello magazine. These gatherings attract 30,000 attendees each year. Queen Elizabeth also had a palace in Scotland, the Balmoral Castle, which is worth $140 million according to Forbes. Every year she spent a portion of the summer there, and it is said to be her favorite place to live. Princess Eugenie, the Queen's granddaughter, stated in the documentary Our Queen at 90 that she believes her grandmother was the happiest there. She believes the Queen adores the Highlands. She went on to note that during the monarch's summer vacation, there are generally dogs around, as well as family members who would join her. The Queen spent her time in Balmoral driving, horseback riding, and enjoying the great outdoors. There's plenty of green space on the 50,000-acre estate. Balmoral is made up of 150 buildings, all of which are surrounded by gardens. Queen Elizabeth traveled a lot for diplomatic obligations as the Queen. Her first journey as Queen was to Kenya in 1952, the year she became Queen of England. During her reign, she visited over 120 countries, according to Reader's Digest. Her obvious preference is Canada, which she had visited the most. She had stopped there at least 27 times. Canada technically came under her sovereignty as a member of the Commonwealth. It may surprise you to learn that Queen Elizabeth did not get to select where she travels on vacation. That would be up to United Kingdom government, which made judgments based on the safety of a possible visit. Even the Queen of England didn't get to do whatever she desires. On the bright side, according to Reader's Digest, she was allowed to fly without a passport because British passports were issued in the Queen's name. She wouldn't be needing one to travel. Did you think that Buckingham Palace was spectacular? Try Windsor Castle, another royal family residence. It was one of the Queen's 6 homes in the world's biggest habitable castle with around 1,000 rooms. The house has a long history as well. According to the source, the British royal family has lived there for over a millennium. In terms of Queen Elizabeth's history at Windsor Castle, she spent a lot of her childhood there. According to Reader's Digest Canada, she and her sister, Princess Margaret, sheltered there during World War II when bombs were dropped on London. However, the history there isn't all bad. Windsor Castle has also served as the setting for several royal weddings, including that of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. According to the official website of the British royal family, there have been a total of 17 marriages celebrated in the castle as of October 2018. After all, it is a lovely setting. Queen Elizabeth had access to a private jet for trips which she required regularly. According to CNBC, she utilized the Royal Air Force jet Voyager to reach where she was going. Also, according to Town & Country, the Queen and other royals' vacation were not cheap and they were paid for with British residents' tax money. The only exception is when the Queen would visit another Commonwealth country. In some cases, the country she was visiting would pay for her journey. Another thing that you should know about the late Queen Elizabeth II is she had always been an admirer of the upscale label Launer. According to Town & Country, her mother gave the then princess her first Launer bag in the 1950s, and she's been addicted ever since. Gerald Bodmer, CEO of Launer London, stated that Queen Elizabeth had 200 Launer London purses. One may be found in almost every photograph of her. The Queen's devotion to the brand, on the other hand, is not cheap. According to Good Housekeeping, they may cost up to $2,346 per handbag, but that was small cash to a queen. Do note as well that the bags that she purchased were more than just purses to her. She used them as codes to communicate with her assistants. According to Today, the Queen would alert her workers by shifting her pocketbook from her left arm to her right. Did you know that the monarch had her own ATM at Buckingham Palace, which was installed in 2001? The ATM, as useful as it was, may not be used very frequently. The ATM isn't the only useful feature in the palace. There's also a post office on the premises, so the Queen could complete her to-do list without leaving the house. The Queen was also no stranger to boarding the train. Every year, she would take one to the Sandringham estate in Norfolk. Historically, the royals spent Christmas there and she would take a commercial train for such journeys. However, there's no such thing as the royal train, so Queen Elizabeth and Meghan Markle rode it together in 2018, but apparently it costs more than $26,000. The Queen allegedly enjoyed driving as well, albeit she did not travel far. According to Town and Rural, she could be seen driving to church or on the grounds of her country house. Despite being close to home, he had a variety of transportation alternatives. The Queen is frequently photographed behind the wheel of her Range Rover, but the royals were also occasionally seen traveling in a Jaguar. Queen Elizabeth also owned a Bentley State limousine, according to Town & Country, which was created specifically for her 2002 Golden Jubilee to provide onlookers with a better glimpse of her. But it wasn't her own Bentley. When the first Bentley Bentayga was released in 2015, the vehicle company allowed her to purchase it. It's the world's most expensive SUV. The Queen also owned racehorses and frequently attended horse races, even flying to Kentucky to see stud farms. Her passion for horses, on the other hand, wasn't a fad. According to Reader's Digest, she first rode a horse when she was 3 years old and received her first pony when she was 4. The Queen didn't only watch horse races, though, she also rode them. The Queen's horsey obsession had brought her a lot of money. According to Reader's Digest, she had earned $9.4 million from nearly 450 races won by her racehorses as of 2017. According to John Warren, the Queen's racing advisor, if the Queen wasn't the Queen, she would have become an excellent trainer. She also said how the Queen had an affinity for horses and is very observant. With all the things that we have mentioned so far, you may have wondered what you'd do if you'd had the same amount of wealth as the Queen or any of the wealthiest people in the world. Well, whatever it is, why not let us know in the comments below and see if we have the same thing in mind. Also, are you enjoying this video so far? Then give the video a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to this channel if you wish to watch more videos like this one. Speaking of Queen Elizabeth's lifestyle, we still have a few things prepared for you, so let's continue on. Another significant thing about Queen Elizabeth is that she had so much art that she employed someone only to look after it. The royal collection, the Queen's art collection, contained around 1 million paintings, books, furniture, and other precious artifacts. This collection didn't officially belong to Queen Elizabeth, but rather to whoever is the monarch at the moment. Essentially, she owned it until she died. The Guardian reported that some of Leonardo da Vinci's sketches were included in this massive collection, and while some of the artwork is stored, others were on display at royal mansions. Thousands upon thousands of pieces from the royal collection have also been loaned to galleries and museums, according to the website. The fact that Queen Elizabeth had an assistant who would break in her shoes was one of the most luxurious parts of her existence. Stuart Parvin, the Queen's former royal dress designer, acknowledged to the Sunday Times that Queen Elizabeth's shoes should always be comfortable so she wouldn't waste time treating painful feet. Indeed, Queen Elizabeth II lived an insanely lavish lifestyle, which not so many of us had a chance to get. But of course, getting such a lifestyle is not impossible for anyone to achieve. We've heard of several rich people who managed to rise after doing all that must be done to reach their status. And we're now at the end of this video about the lavish lifestyle of the late Queen Elizabeth II. That said, we would like to thank you for staying with us, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.